Yeah, we need to talk. I'm leaving you. And not just you, all of Sydney. On the 4th of August, I'm packing my bags, jumping on a plane and leaving to another country for a few years, going on a big journey away. I've actually got a dream, amazing job to go work in Silicon Valley. I've been working in technology companies for 20 years and I've got a big global role, lots of change, lots of excitement. I'm very, very excited, but I'm also really sad because I love Sydney. I really, really love Sydney. I've been living here for 20 years and I love so much about it. I love its food, I love its culture, I love its people, I love crazy fucking events like this tonight. I love so much about it, I'm really going to miss it. So what I've been doing over the last 3 months since I knew I was going, I wanted to make the absolute most of every moment until I jumped on that plane. So I've been taking photos, doing iconic boring shit, going to Manly and Bondi, stuff that only tourists actually do, but I've been trying to suck up as much as I can of Sydney and it's been great. I've loved it. I've really reconnected, fallen in love with Sydney again at a whole deeper level. So I want to ask you, everyone here tonight, you said you like Sydney, but do you love Sydney? Yeah. Do you really love Sydney? Yeah. Rightio. Well, I'm hoping to do a bit of an experiment. I'm hoping to try something in the next 3.5 minutes, and I'm hoping I'm in the crazy room of people to do that. And I'm going to combine these 6 things: deadlines, goals, taking action, commitment in words, sharing, and small groups. We're going to try to do this in the next 3.5 minutes. So let's see how we go. I hope I'm in a group of brave people. The first thing I want you to do is to imagine that I've shouted you a trip. Actually, we're all emigrating. We're all leaving Australia on August 4 with me. We're all getting on a plane, going to a favourite country somewhere in the world. You're leaving. You've got that same fear and of that love of Sydney. You're going to get it, and you want to make the absolute most of your time here. So I want everyone tonight just to set one goal, one single goal before August 4 that you do to connect you with Sydney. A simple goal. So I actually want everybody right now to pull out your phones. And if you're not feeling very brave, just send yourself an email. But if you are feeling brave, get onto Friendster, MySpace, or GeoCities. I don't know what the kids are on social networks this time. Seriously, I want you to all get out your phones now, and I want you to write down and send out a message. I'm going to whatever you think would be great for you to connect you to Sydney, but before August 4. I'm trying to create a flurry of activity, a bit of passion, and get everyone to reconnect like I did, because I loved it so much. I want to give that. I don't want you to wait for years. I want you to do it before August 4. Here's a couple of ideas and some things that I've done over the last 3 months. I was born in Eastwood, but I haven't actually been back to Eastwood for 10 years because I'm a North Shore, wanker. But I went back to Eastwood and I just went there and hung out and I actually saw Eastwood for the first time. It was great. Go back to your school, go do something different or something you haven't connected with for a while. Start a group, start a poetry group, a book group, a competitor to Ignite. No, don't do that. Start something that might be a legacy that you can do before you jump on a plane on August 4. Other ideas, go into Yelp, set the rating for sort of 4 or 5 stars and find a suburb you've never been to and go there and have a meal. I guarantee you there's dozens and dozens of suburbs in Sydney that have great people, great food that you've never been to, that you can discover Sydney a different way, get lost in your own city. And here's a brave one that I did, which was fantastic. I found someone who has been living in Sydney since the 60s, and I just spent some time with them. I spent a few hours asking them questions, asking what life's like, what was the history like, what are things that changed, and I had a really, really amazing experience of connecting with someone for another generation. So I'm going to wait 10 seconds while you all send that message out. Bring out your phones, write yourself a message. I'm going to be tracking you all. I follow you all on Twitter, so I'm going to see what you wrote. And when you actually do that activity and connect with Sydney, I want you to take a photo. That shouldn't be too hard for you all. Take a photo of what you've done, and your articulated activating system will bring you right back into this room and connect you back into what we've done here today. Take that photo and share it out again. And all we've done is we set a deadline, we set a goal, we took some action straight away, we wrote the commitment down in words, we shared it out, and that we used the power of small groups to create a new flurry of activity for those arseholes out there saying Sydney's dying and actually reconnect back in with this wonderful city. And the reason I really wanted to do this is because I'm coming back. I'm absolutely, definitely coming back, despite what a lot of people, including my mother, says. And when I come back, I actually want to really make sure that Sydney is some beautiful things that I've always loved, but also changed and evolved in the amazing way that I know Sydney has. I don't know about you, but one of the favourite things in my whole life is flying back into Sydney. seeing the sun, normally it's sunrise, and you see the beaches, and you see the harbour, and you see the outline of the city, and you see the harbour bridge, and there's something in your heart you feel, and you just love it. And I really hope you can take one action to fall in love with Sydney again, because I love Sydney. Thank you.